For those who understand central banks, fractional reserve banking, and the fiat monetary system, it's clear how flawed and corrupt this system can be and how uncertain this experimental debt-based system is to its sustainability. Every single major central bank and government that has controlled the money supply was eventually forced to print more money to continue funding their debts, their wars, investments, and anything else. And each time these powers have collapsed for a variety of different reasons. But a common characteristic that each economic power shared during their downfalls was their debt burden and debasement of their monetary supply. So to think that a collapse of our monetary system can't happen now, in my opinion, is naive. I think the reason why it's so hard to imagine is not because it's impossible. In fact, the fundamentals of our system tell you otherwise. It's hard to imagine because we don't want it to happen. I mean, why would we want this system to collapse? We've been living in some of the most prosperous and abundant times in human history. We have access to anything we want. It's been easy to find work or start a business. The fact is, we've benefited more than anyone else in the entire world. And so the thought of losing the privileges we have, the thought of losing equity in our assets that we've accumulated throughout our lives, the thought of losing our purchasing power and accessibility to different places in the world, the thought of any of this happening is pretty terrifying. So this leaves us all in a tough spot. On one hand, if we study money in past economies and reserve currencies throughout history, the writing seems to be on the wall in terms of what comes next. On the other hand, for those of us who were lucky enough to grow up during the rise of this system and benefit from it, as much as you know the system is not right and unsustainable, a part of you deep down wants it to continue for admittedly selfish reasons, even if you know how nefarious and unsustainable it actually is. So, what do you do? Well, it starts with simply being informed of what's happening around you and making decisions that you think are best for you and your family. Some fundamentals, in my opinion, would include: one, being able to earn a living remotely from anywhere in the entire world. Second, having access to cash. As much as I don't like having cash in a fiat system, especially during times of high inflation like we're experiencing now, I think having access to cash and being able to capitalize on opportunities that will inevitably open up will be extremely valuable. Third, own appreciating cash-producing assets like real estate. And fourth, own self-custodied Bitcoin. So I'd love to hear what you're thinking, how you see things playing out, and what you're doing to position yourself and your family. So drop a comment and let me know. And as always, if you got any value from this video, consider subscribing to my channel or sharing it with anyone else you think would find this video helpful.